If you're a chocolate lover, you know there's nothing better than biting into a deep, dark chocolate cookie. Well, until now, that is. These cookies are not only decadent on their own, but you add the surprise of a caramel candy or a peanut butter cup, and you're talking a cookie that won't last long at all. Matter of fact, you might be tempted to keep them all for yourself. If you're ready for death by chocolate, grab a cup of hot cocoa. It's time to bake some magic in Mrs. Kringle's kitchen. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees. We're going to start with the flour first. Have a strainer handy to sift the ingredients. To the 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, add the 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, the 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, the 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and the 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Tap the mesh strainer on its side to sift the ingredients together. If you see lumps of cocoa left, just push them through with your fingers or a spoon. Using a fork, incorporate the sifted cocoa mixture into the flour and set the bowl aside. In a mixing bowl, add the 3/4 cups of softened butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Cream the ingredients together. Then slowly add in both eggs and incorporate until a batter forms. Scrape the bowl down if needed. Carefully add 1/2 of the cocoa flour mixture until just combined. Repeat with the second 1/2 of the flour mixture and combine until the dough comes together. I used 1/2 dark chocolate chunks and 1/2 milk chocolate chips for this batch. Fold in the chips, distributing them evenly. For the add-ins on this batch, I used mini Rolos and mini Reese's cups. I like to leave some plain even though they're far from plain, so this dough ball gets scooped as is on a lined cookie sheet 2 inches apart from the next cookie. When it's time to stuff the cookie, scoop your dough and make an indentation with your thumb so that the candy will fit into it. Then take the dough on the sides and cover the candy completely. If there are any gaps or holes, the stuffing will leak out. We don't want that. Repeat the same process with the other candies and cookies. Bake in the oven for 7 minutes or until the edges are set. Allow them to cool for 5 minutes on the cookie sheet. Transfer them to a wire cooling rack to cool completely. These cookies are by far Mr. Kringle's favorite. They're the first ones he'll grab on a plate if he has a choice, and for good reason. If you have a chocolate craving that needs to be satisfied, this is the cookie for you. Reheat for 5 to 8 seconds in the microwave for a melty bite of chocolate heaven. If you like this recipe, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can get more home-baked goodies from Mrs. Kringle's kitchen.